T-Pose Complete Star Trek Timeline Explained. Among all of Star Trek's Vulcan characters, Topple from Star Trek Enterprise stands apart. Unlike Spock or Sarek, her story was not rooted in Federation stability, but in the messy, uncertain years before Starfleet became the organization fans know. A science officer, diplomat, reluctant explorer, and even a bridge between human impulsiveness and Vulcan logic, T-Pole's timeline in Enterprise is rich with political intrigue, personal transformation, and philosophical struggle. To understand her role in Star Trek canon, it's worth tracing her journey from her earliest years to her eventual disappearance from the historical record. Early life on Vulcan. Topple was born in 2088 on Vulcan, nearly 2 centuries before Spock's birth. Her formative years occurred during a tense time for Vulcan society. The Vulcans of her generation were still wary of Earth and deeply suspicious of human passion and unpredictability. T-Pole's strict upbringing prepared her for service within the Vulcan High Command, where she began her career in the Ministry of Security. Unlike many Vulcans who tried to suppress their emotions to the point of rigidity, Topple had a natural curiosity. Even as a young woman, she showed signs of questioning authority, though always within the bounds of Vulcan restraint. This tension between loyalty to her culture and an openness to new ideas would define much of her later life. Assignment to Earth. In 2130, T-Pole's life took a pivotal turn. She was stationed at the Vulcan consulate in San Francisco, serving as an officer attached to the High Command. Living on Earth for nearly a decade, she grew more familiar with humans than most Vulcans of her time. Although she initially saw humanity as reckless and immature, her time observing Earth shaped her nuanced understanding of human potential. This experience will become vital in 2151, when she was ordered to serve aboard humanity's first Warp 5 starship, the Enterprise NX-01, under Captain Jonathan Archer. A reluctant explorer on the Enterprise, T-Pole's posting aboard Enterprise was controversial from the start. Neither she nor Archer wanted her there. Vulcans had long monitored and restrained Earth's spacefaring ambitions, and Archer resented their condescension. For Topple, the assignment was more of a punishment than an honor. Yet, over the course of the mission, she proved indispensable. As science officer, she guided the crew through dangerous first contacts, identified alien technology, and often served as the voice of caution. Her calm demeanor contrasted with Archer's passionate leadership, creating a dynamic that anchored the crew. Struggles with identity and emotion. Perhaps T-Pole's most fascinating arc was her struggle with Vulcan emotional control. While serving aboard Enterprise, she faced situations that tested her logic in profound ways. One of the most significant turning points came during her exposure to Trillium-D, a substance toxic to Vulcans that damaged her neural pathways. The exposure lowered her emotional barriers, leaving her vulnerable and more susceptible to feelings she had long repressed. The addiction to Trillium-D also became a metaphor for her conflicted desire to understand humanity. This struggle directly affected her relationship with Commander Charles "Trip" Tucker. Their unlikely romance defied both Vulcan tradition and Starfleet expectations. While controversial, it also reflected T-Pole's growth. She was no longer merely an emissary of Vulcan logic, but a being who embraced the complexity of emotion, intimacy, and choice. The Xindi Crisis. T-Pole's development reached its peak during the Xindi Crisis 2153 to 2154. When Earth was attacked by a devastating Xindi probe, Enterprise was tasked with preventing further destruction. Topple, now first officer as well as science officer, played a critical role. Her emotional state and relationship with Trip grew more complicated during this time. She found herself torn between loyalty to Archer, her growing love for Trip, and the expectations of the Vulcan High Command. Ultimately, she chose her own path, resigning from the High Command to remain with Enterprise. This decision symbolized her complete break from Vulcan orthodoxy and a full commitment to Archer's vision of a united interstellar community. Founding the Coalition of Planets. By the final season of Enterprise, Topple had become more than just an officer. She was a bridge between two civilizations. Her work with Archer placed her at the center of early negotiations that would lead to the Coalition of Planets, the precursor to the United Federation of Planets. Her marriage to Cos, arranged by her family, dissolved as she chose independence. Though her romantic relationship with Trip faced constant turmoil, from cultural differences to personal tragedies, it revealed the lasting bond between them. In many ways, Trip and Topple symbolize the alliance between humans and Vulcans. Difficult,